What's going on, YouTubers? Welcome to another video. I wanted to float an idea past you guys that I've been thinking. So in an effort to improve my collection, I've considered changing out all this wall display. The video game wall is more or less what it is, to garage shelving. So that means get rid of the packs and all 5 stuvas. And what we do is 3 48-inch wide garage shelves, and you'd have enough space to also fit 1 curio glass shelf. The idea is to do all prime 1/4 scale statues, having different like lines per se, top and bottom. Only 2 of them would be kind of like a few video games. For example, one shelf we would have like this, God of War. And keep in mind, I would not have the shelves this low and that low. I would not do it like this. I'd actually do it more like my Warcraft, where it would be raised, and then this one raised. So there wouldn't be statues on like the ground per se. It would be at least that tall. Probably even a little bit taller, having it as tall as these stuvas, or maybe just that tall. That's a good height as well. But more or less like that. Like that, but deeper. This deep. 3 of them. So, for example, one shelf would be God of War. Underneath would be Horizon Zero Dawn, Aloy, and Stalker. Then the next shelf could have my Devil May Cry line. Underneath, you could do Witcher, or do Witcher above, either way. Devil May Cry definitely above. But let's say, for example, Witcher. On a third one, we could do Prime One has announced the license for Last of Us 1 and 2, as well as Uncharted 4. So I would get 1 Last of Us 1 statue, not Last of Us 2. 1 is my favorite. And then Uncharted 4, which is probably my favorite Uncharted. Those 2 together. And then underneath, we could do Neo, Bloodborne, Jin Sakai from Ghost of Tsushima. That would easily fit inside a garage shelf. And that fits. And then another one, we'd also have Resident Evil as well. That needs to go inside a garage shelf. So that fit. Witcher, Devil May Cry, Last of Us, Uncharted. Yeah, I don't know if I have enough space for everything. I'd need to see The Last of Us, Uncharted, but let's just call it Resident Evil there. For now. I mean, technically we could still do Resident Evil over here. The idea is to make this Game of Thrones above and potentially the Bruce Lee bust. If I was to sell some of my video games and MK statues, what I'm considering is selling the MK duplicates. So I have duplicate characters. Example, I got a Scorpion Sub-Zero, and I consider these superior versions. I like the costumes more. I like these versions of the characters more. Now, I'd put probably 600 plus hours into Mortal Kombat 9. I mastered that game. Absolutely love it. But Scorpion Sub-Zero were not my mains in that game. I'd even really use those characters, actually. None of these characters, actually, I really even used. Outside of Kung Lao and Raiden up there. Those were my 2 mains, actually, when I originally started. Kung Lao being my true main. Towards the end, I was more of Sonya and Cyrax. But I was thinking, what if I sold those 2? Those 2, Shao Kahn, kept Katana and Baraka since they're not duplicates. Throw Katana with Jada Molina in the other room, and Baraka as well in the classic line. Or even Baraka right there, because he's not tall, and he would actually fit right there. And he's not super deep. So I could just throw Baraka right there, Katana in the other room, and it frees this up, gives me extra cash. We sell Samus, Nightmare, probably just sell this clicker. Once Prime 1 announces their clicker, though. Keep Laura until Prime 1 announces that license. Sell that Uncharted, although I'll sell it once Prime 1 shows off their Nathan Drake. I do like that Samus, and I would like to keep it somehow. Never selling Halo, ever, unless Prime 1 makes a far superior version. I do Halo and Lara Croft on the glass shelf. Halo above, Lara underneath. And potentially even do Snake where I have Dastin over there, or where the Enter the Dragon is. But you get the picture. So trying to do all garage shelving. I have thought if I should also do garage shelving right here as well as right there, which is also a considered option. I would need to do a 3-tier garage shelf to do that, though. I think it would give me extra space, because think about it this way. If this was a garage shelf, I could fit another statue right there in the middle. Right now I can't because it's separated by a wall. If it was a garage shelf, I could fit a statue there. I could fit a statue there. Fit a statue in between. So it definitely would give me more much needed space for DBZ. I would definitely have to do a 3-tier system though, just because these need to be displayed up high. It'd have to be this tall and then a split in the middle and have 3 tiers. The problem as well doing a 3-tier system is certain statues, like for example Broly, you would have to make the entire shelf high, meaning you would have limited statues there. So Broly would probably, ideally have to do with statues that are all about the same height like these. This would all work. Broly wouldn't. He would have to go somewhere else. But doing a garage shelf, I definitely see the possibility of it improving the overall display and giving me extra space that I need. And now, a garage shelf cost about $80 to create more or less 2 of them. I can sell these Stuvas for maybe $5 to $20 on Facebook Marketplace. They're absolutely worthless. And right here, I could do 1 Stuva just like that. Probably do also a 3-tier system to match this one if I did it. Right now, I've put Medusa here, Perseus, have all these movie statues, which I actually really like this display. I would totally just keep it like that. I've already sold Baby Doll, so once she's paid off, I'd just move Dastin there. But I actually really like this display, but these are all like my old school 1/4, so I don't know if these will get the chopping block someday. The thing is, they represent a lot of great movies, like Harry Potter, Avatar, Indiana Jones, Clash of the Titans. I freaking love these movies, and I hate to not have them represented in the collection, but they're definitely, inferior statues to the likes of Prime 1. Ideally, I'm trying to wait for Prime 1 just to make far superior versions. But these sideshows still hold up as really good statues. Some of my final old school statues is what I'd call them. Because once I get rid of all my Prime 1 Lord of the Rings, the only ones I kind of have is Darth Maul, I'll say, and Jack Sparrow. I'll definitely sell that Jack Sparrow if we get a better one. That would definitely be instantly sold if Prime 1 does a Jack Sparrow or another. I'm surprised we don't have more Jack Sparrow statues, to be honest. But, yeah. So, I am highly considering changing this whole room to garage shelving, because right now we kind of have a mix. The only thing that would not become a garage shelf would be the Zelda display. So, we have this Zelda setup, which, this is a closet, so it's very limited on what I could fit here. I could basically do a 30-inch wide garage shelf in there if I wanted to. But then you have the back of the closet you would get to see, which I don't really want to look out. So it's kind of like this, works better for me than a garage shelf would, because I also get that space above. So I don't really want to change that out. So I am considering it. I'm also just like, so much work. But if anything, I would start with just this wall. But it is really hard to sell MK just because it's one of my great loves in life. But duplicate statues, it's not like I won't have a 1/4 Scorpion versus Sub-Zero. I like these busts way more than those ones. And I like my classic Shao Kahn a lot more than that one. So, I really do love this display. I'm just thinking if it should get the chopping block to, make way for more Prime 1/4. So, what do you guys think? Definitely a tough one, as I really do love my MK setup. I've also thought if I moved this MK to right here, then I could still do the entire garage shelf line. But I'm really trying to make space for Khaleesi as well. She is very important to me, and I want her to have a good, ideally top shelf spot, especially when the bust, which I'm sure is going to be absolutely phenomenal. I'd love to have it right here. And heck, if we could do Bruce Lee underneath, that'd be amazing. Or I was even thinking what honestly would probably work good is if we just did Witcher there. Because somewhat both similar fantasy, TV shows and whatnot. So I think Witcher would go good, and then Resident Evil in the video game setup. I think that actually go real good. So that's how I should do it. And then just keep Lee where he's at, just the 1/4. Anyways, folks, that is just some things. It's late at night. Before I go to bed, I walk through my collection. I look at every statue. I think of ways to improve my display, statues I should consider selling or buying and whatnot. And I think at the end of the day, I do want all my video game statues, for the most part, to just be Prime 1 lines, because that is my favorite, like Devil May Cry line. So eventually, although these I do consider kind of part of a line, they're made by the same video game makers, and when I get Jin Sakai, that's a trio for me that can be displayed together. But I know for a fact I'll definitely eventually sell Samus, Nightmare, Nathan Drake. Most likely just sell that Clicker, and if I ever actually get an Ellie statue, goodness. Gaming has delayed inevitably. The one thing I will never sell is Halo unless it's far superior ones made. But the others, I could go without. Metal Gear Solid, I really do love that statue, and I, love the original game. I didn't play a lot of the sequels. I did play number 2, didn't play 3 or 4, tried a little of 5. I want them to do an HD remix. I just remember Metal Gear Solid 1 being so amazing on PlayStation 1. So definitely would love to play that game again. Anyways, folks, that is it. Drop a comment below. What do you guys think? Do you think I should consider selling these MK statues at all? It's, like I said, it is duplicate characters. I have these, which are superior versions. This is just a different costume, and obviously a different pose, and, different mask for Scorpion and Sub-Zero. These ones don't have bases. I definitely like these masks more, but I still love these ones as well. So definitely some decisions to make. Anyways, folks, that is it. Like, comment, subscribe. Have a great day.